A really big question. Do we hit the blizzard? YouTube, today we're trying out a brand new team, and this team top cut the Japan National Championship. It has no Minimize Chansey whatsoever. It has a Chansey without Minimize alongside a Choice Specs Eternatus and a Life Orb Sky Attack Yveltal. If you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, rate us, help me out. You want to check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, and you can grab the rental code on the screen while it is available. But let's get started and play some games. Dialga, Kyogre, Thundurus, Raichu, Rillaboom, and Porygon. Okay, some very interesting decisions here. Yveltal can kind of go in. It really depends on the Thundurus if it's Defiant or Support, which I cannot tell on this team if it's going to be Defiant or Support. I feel like it'd be more supportive, but I could be absolutely wrong here. But there is one Pokemon that if it isn't Support, if it isn't offensive Thundurus, Chansey gives them a really tough time, actually. Like, they actually really don't have a good matchup against Chansey, which is kind of funny here. I do kind of like the Chansey here. I think Chansey's definitely a bring. Rillaboom, maybe. Blastoise, I'm not really feeling the Blastoise mode here, but it definitely could be a factor. I guess Incineroar is not useful, really. Like, I don't think Incineroar is that useful. I definitely want to lead Yveltal. I want to lead Eternatus. Eternatus for sure. And then, oh boy, I guess this could be tricky because it really just depends on what I want to bring. I don't want to bring the Incin. I think it's probably Eternatus, Rillaboom. I think it's going to be the Yveltal in the back. I don't really like Blastoise too much, although I could see myself leading it. Which I guess Blastoise lead for Fake Out isn't that bad. It's not ideal. I think I'm going to try it though. I definitely want to bring the Chansey in the back, I'm pretty sure. Just kind of a weird situation because I'd imagine Support Thundurus, if it's Defiant Thundurus, we're gonna have a really tough time, but if it's Support Thundurus, we're in a really good position because Chansey will wall the special attackers, so all I have to do is get rid of the physical attackers if I can, and I do have the opportunity to. Let's find out what they are going to lead off with here. It's Raichu and the Dialga. Okay, I wonder if it's like Brick Break weakness policy or some kind of trick like that. I don't exactly know too much here, but I mean, I think Chansey's just such a safe switch for the Eternatus here. They're probably going to Fake Out my Eternatus and probably just target down my Eternatus with Fake Out Max Dragon if they have it. So I'm going to go out into my Chansey here and go for the Grassy Glide. I feel like targeting the Rillaboom is just not necessary when it's not even a threat right here, but let's find out. I am going to go, or should I Fake Out the Raichu? If I Fake Out the no, I think Grassy Glide here. Because if I Fake Out, the thing is, sure, I could stop maybe a Brick Break if that's the case. But the thing is, if it is a Max Dragon and a Fake Out, then if I Fake Out and I take the attack drop, then I'm not going to knock out the Raichu with the next attack, which would be the Grassy Glide if I go for the Fake Out here. That's what I'm worried about. So I think I'm going to go for the Grassy Glide here. We're going to go in a Chansey here, which should be able to eat these attacks just fine. I guess another play I could have went for was like Chansey lead in ally switch mind games, but I don't really want to do that unless I absolutely am forced to. Although it can be a pretty big thing. The Chansey's really stalling out this max here. As long again as there's no Fake Out into an attack into the slot here into the Rillaboom, I should be okay. Let's find out if that's going to be the case though. We're gonna see should be a Fake Out into Eternatus. Yep, it is into Eternatus. It's a pretty safe Fake Out. They might target down the Rillaboom here, but I think that's okay. We do get the Grassy Glide off into the Raichu. Very, very good amount of damage. Flare coming out into the Rillaboom straight away. Okay. I do have that Focus Sash, though. Okay. A pretty nice turn. Pretty nice turn. I am able to... Wait. What item are you? So it's either off Flamethrower or Overheat. The other is not Assault Vest. Interesting. I could Ally Switch here. Or I could Seismic Toss the Raichu covering for the switch. Either one seems pretty good to me. I just want to figure out what's worth it. Thundurus is also not that big of a threat anymore, so I feel like I would probably want to go for the ally switch here because I'd play more mind games with them later on. Or I could go for the Seismic Toss here. I don't need Rillaboom in this game. It's not necessary to win at all, but it is a nice mon to have. I think I'm just gonna... Now, I don't need... If Rillaboom goes down, I get a free swap, right? So I might as well just Seismic Toss here and go for a Grassy Glide into the Raichu slot. Like, pin whatever could switch in And yeah, they are going to swap here. Rillaboom could come in for that slot, I suppose. Yeah, it is a Rillaboom, but that's fine. I do have a Yveltal for a reason, so don't think it's that bad of a play here for me. Grassy Glide into the Rillaboom. Again, this is probably one of their biggest threats to my Chansey, so this is definitely okay here. They go for a Max Dragon. They target down my Rillaboom, pick up the knockout. Okay, perfect. So now I get the free switch into either Eternatus or the Yveltal here. And seems like a really good spot to click maybe like, I guess next turn I could just ally switch in, go for a Max Darkness, or I mean I have a lot of plays I could go for. Big damage into the Rillaboom. Do I even need the Airstream boost? Oh yeah, to outspeed the Raichu, yeah, so I do want that. I definitely go out into my Yveltal here. I was thinking like what I could do here. Do I soft boil? Do I ally switch? I mean, I think either play works realistically. I guess Salt Boil is not a bad mid-ground either, because a double up should not KO Chansey with Grassy Glide combination. So yeah, I'm going to Salt Boil actually. I'm going to go for the Airstream here. It is a 140 base power Airstream, and I should be able to knock out like anything that wants to come in, other than maybe Kyogre, but Kyogre is taking a bunch of damage, so I think it's fine. I don't have to reveal the ally switch if I don't have to just yet, and Chansey's looking a little bit tough for their team. It does look pretty tough for their team. I don't think the last month's Porygon 2. It should be the Kyogre, so a really good spot here potentially. And then we can go for Dragon Max Darknesses and put this Pokemon into range of the Dragon Dynamax cannon right here. So yeah, this is looking pretty strong. They go for the Grassy Glide, which makes a lot of sense here in the Chansey. Chansey takes it not super well, but a Max Dragon also going to be fired out. That's a fast Yveltal, and I mean really fast. They do Dragon the Chansey, but yeah, I actually like that I didn't ally switch here. I actually Chansey is going to be able to eat those attacks really well here, and then I get a soft boil up, recover basically all the health, and my Yveltal is still very healthy, so this is actually really ideal here. A goodbye to the Rillaboom, as Rillaboom is eliminated, and now I can really threaten the Kyogre, and I can just stall out right here. Just keep going for Max Darknesses into the Seismic Toss. I don't need Minimize at all for this. At this point, it seems really good here. So soft boil up with the Chansey right here. We'll recover all this HP, and thank you for the grassy terrain, by the way. Well, I did provide it myself, I guess. As yeah, look at this Chansey. Look at, I took a Grassy Glide and I took a Max Dragon, and I'm almost back to full. So I wasted an entire turn of my opponent's max right there. All right, you're going to come out. Hey, that is completely fine. This means I get to keep going for Max Darknesses now, and I might as well just get Chip onto the Dialga at this point. So I'm gonna go for a Seismic Toss into the Raichu. I mean, they're probably clicking Fake Out anyway, but it doesn't really matter to me. So we're gonna go for a Max Darkness here into the Raichu, because we want as many knockouts as we can isolated, and they're gonna forfeit because I don't think they can break through the Chansey. I think they kind of realize, oh, I cannot beat the Chansey, and they save us the trouble of having to go through like a Chansey sit down right there. And yeah, it just seemed really tough for them to break through the Chansey. That's the thing about double special restricted. It can be really strong, but this Chansey, of course, one of the best special walls in the game, especially with that Eviolite. And then physical attackers like this set, I believe, what I would imagine is for like Calyx Ice Rider teams. He can charm down the Calyx Ice Rider and then wall the Palkia. So it's a pretty solid option in this case, and it just really worked out to help out against Dialga, which really, again, couldn't do much. Like, it got an early knockout into the Rillaboom. It took 2 hits to really accomplish it, and then afterward, Chansey came in, Dynamax Yveltal. They really couldn't break through, unfortunately, either of them. Reshiram Porygon 2, Regieleki, Tapu Fini, Incineroar, and the Calyx Ice Rider. I actually really like this matchup, I think, because I get to theoretically bring the Charm Chansey into this, and the Charm Chansey could be a really big factor right here. The fact that I can charm down the Calyx Ice Rider seems absolutely huge here. I just got to make sure I can get rid of their Tapu Fini correctly, which is a big one. I guess my Eternatus is a really good lead, because offensively it does fantastic against my opponent's team. So I do want to lead Eternatus. I think Eternatus plus maybe Blastoise. Blastoise is a good switch. I would like to bring the Rillaboom in theory, because of the fact that I do have a Fake Out Protect mod. I mean, Instant also has Fake Out Protect, so I guess that could work too. I guess I just want Rillaboom to KO the Fini fast, but I have Sludge Bomb as well. I think it's probably like Instant plus the Eternatus lead here is actually pretty solid for the most part. I have the Blastoise in the back and then the Chansey. Yveltal's strange too. There's so many Pokemon I would like to, if this was a 6v6, I'd like this spot a lot. But I don't think I need Yveltal at all. The only thing it's supposed to do is like foul play. But the thing is, I don't need the damage into Calyx Ice Rider. There's a chance he will probably beat it unless they change the original team. This was the team that Jeremy used to get second place at the what was it? Milwaukee? No, it wasn't Milwaukee. That was just recent. The Indianapolis Regional Championship. Yeah, that was it. Okay, Incineroar, Porygon 2, pretty standard leads all around, but I have really good offensive pressure with my Incineroar and my Eternatus right here. I get to go for a Sludge Bomb and do some really massive damage right here. They trace my Intimidate, which is fine. I'm not attacking with Incineroar anyway. So this is a pretty good position to just click a Sludge Bomb into the instant, I think, or a Dynamax Cannon. Depends. Do I think they have Tapu Fini? I mean, I think they definitely have the Ice Rider. I'd imagine it's Ice Rider, but I don't know if it's Fini or if it's going to be the Reshiram in the back, because the Reshiram is the big question mark. Because if they have the Tapu Fini, I would like to click Sludge Bomb. But I guess Dynamax Cannon isn't bad into the Incineroar, so I'm going to go for a Dynamax Cannon, and I'm going to go for a Fake Out here into the Porygon. If we trade Fake Outs, it's fine. If they go for Parting Shot, I guess it's all right. A Fake Out and a Porygon. They do go for a Fake Out into my Eternatus. Okay, so we're just trading Fake Outs. That's completely okay here. I'm going to get a big Dynamax Cannon off this turn. And I'm going to Parting Shot as well into the, I guess, the Incineroar slot. It doesn't really matter much to me. Yeah, so I'm just going to go for it. A big Dynamax Cannon is huge here into the Incin. That's a lot of damage, and it's really, really good to weaken just my opponent's Pokemon so I can get Seismic Tosses and trap the Calyx Ice Rider. Ooh, that's took the Dynamax Cannon really well. They get the Parting Shot off. Oh, we Speed Tie. That's a really weird Speed Tie. Okay, that works out for me. They do go for it into my Eternatus. That's completely okay. This should be into the Ice Rider or maybe the Reshiram, but like if they go into Reshiram, that's fine. I just get a free switch, and yeah, it's the Ice Rider being brought out here. Okay, perfect. So we will go for a Parting Shot, and then we're going to go for a Charm, and then this Calyx Ice Rider, even if it gets this policy set up like if Porygon wants to go for a Foul Play into their own Ice Rider, I'll be in a very fantastic spot overall. So a Parting Shot is going to come out into the Calyx, and yeah, let's go out into our Chansey. I guess the problem with my Chansey is I think this Chansey is actually fast. Like it's 70 base speed. Yeah, so it's actually kind of fast here. Wait. Am I really invested? Max special defense? Oh no, max physical defense in this special defense. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense here. Chansey, we go. And then we're gonna go for Charm here, and we're gonna swap into our Instant, I think, for another round of Intimidate. I'm pretty sure they might go for a Lance here, or they might just go for the high horsepower max quick read. I think that's okay for the most part. So yeah, let's go for that Charm here into the Calyx, which is gonna be pretty huge. My only problem is I can't immediately damage their Porygon, but at the end of the day, max Calyx, I'm gonna have to wait a few turns to actually deal damage to it. But overall, I don't think this is a bad spot. This Porygon is just gonna be really hard to KO in the end game, like really hard to KO. But they can't KO my Chansey either, and they lose the 1v1 technically. So we'll see how that goes. We're gonna bring out our Incineroar for the Intimidate. Let's see. Now the Calyx Ice Rider is -2. If they swap out, it's fine too, because like I just Parting Shot out whatever's coming in, and they don't have a good switch into Charm and Parting Shot. We are going to see. Looks like the Ice Rider does Dynamax here. We'll find out if it's a Max Quake or a Max Hailstorm coming out, but I'd imagine. Actually, what's the speeds here? Because I think it's like a very interesting speed interaction between the Ice Rider and the Porygon. I think Porygon's spin speed and the Calyx is 1 point faster, but then again, that's still faster than the Chansey, which has speed. All right, let's find out. It should be Foul Play. Foul Play into the Calyx. Yep. Actually still does a decent amount to the Calyx. Okay, they activate their policy, but I'm about to Charm it down. They're at neutral already because of the Parting Shot and this Intimidate that I got earlier. They did go for the Max Quake here, which is fine, into my Incin, which I think I should be able to tank. Yeah, I do tank. Perfect. Okay, I needed to tank there, because if I didn't tank there, then it could have actually been a bit of a problem if they got the attack boost, but now I can stall out a lot easier with this Charm right here from the Chansey. So this Calyx Ice Rider is not looking so hot right here. We're going to go into Blastoise here as a pivot, and we're going to go for a Charm into the Calyx right now. And yeah, now we're in a really good spot. The only problem is, again, the Porygon 2 is going to be really tough to handle. And I guess we're playing around crits as well, but assuming no crits here, we're going to be in a very fantastic spot with Chansey in the end game. It's just, can we beat down the Porygon, which is going to be a little bit annoying right here. We're going to see a foul play come out from the Porygon into the Chansey. Okay, that does nothing, and the Max Quake probably going to be fired off to the Incin. Yep. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Does no damage, and then we charm again. And I need to find a position to get a Cannonade off. If I could get a Poison off into the Porygon 2 with Sludge Bomb, I think we win the game. And I can see definitely a lot of opportunities for us to be able to accomplish that. So yeah, now we're in such a good spot where I think we just fake out to the Porygon and we're going to charm the... I guess we could Ally Switch here. I guess Ally Switch isn't bad because they're probably just targeting down the Blastoise slot from now on. Yeah, so I've got to fake out Ally Switch. Sure, this is kind of a weird option here, but I don't think it's a bad option. Another play I could do is probably just charm the Porygon because Incineroar could come in, but I think that's okay. Like, I really don't think that's as big of a problem. Especially since I don't think they would want to risk me hitting into that slot. They actually switch out to the... okay, they switch out to the Calyx. Is this into Incin or is this into the Tapu Fini? Okay, so they did reveal Tapu Fini, so Sludge Bomb endgame looks really, really solid here. Okay. I really like that. The only problem is they can heal pulse the damage off in a lot of cases, but this is pretty good still. I do get the fake out off into the Porygon, and we will go for the Ally Switch here, which doesn't accomplish anything right now, but it's still not a bad situation. Trick Room's about to end next turn, so I'm gonna go for I think a Seismic Toss into the Tapu Fini slot, and probably just a hard swap into the Eternatus right here. I guess I could Ally Switch at the Eerie Impulse this turn, but I have no clue. I feel like just getting the chip into Fini is really nice with the Sludge Bomb, and try to get rid of that annoying Pokemon that's hard for me to deal with. So let's find out. This could be Madness as well. Eerie Impulse does come out. Targets the Eternatus. A little bit unfortunate for me. Okay. And is this Madness? If this is Madness, I need to... Okay, Seismic Toss comes out into Fini. Very nice. And Mist. Ooh. Oh, I forgot about Mist. Yeah, that will negate the Charm and Intimidates later on. So this could actually get a little bit dangerous, but I think it's still not a bad situation here. I think I go for I think I want to get Blastoise in then. Do I want to get Blastoise in? Probably. I didn't get any damage yet, which is a little bit concerning. I could also double up the Fini slot, but the thing is, if I double up the Fini slot, it's not exactly amazing for us. Maybe I just go for a Salt Boil here, because I don't think Spec Sludge Bomb will KO the Fini, and I don't think they're ever hard switching out into the Calyx Ice Rider anyway. I think they're probably Madnessing here. I'm going to go for a Sludge Bomb here into the Tapu Fini slot and go for a Salt Boil. Wait, they actually did retreat? Oh, I could have went for the Seismic Toss. Dang it. Okay, they go into Calyx Ice Rider again. Huh. I mean, I'm still doing a decent amount here, but I'm actually surprised they brought in Hard Calyx right there. Because if I Sludge Bomb Seismic Toss that slot, they take a lot of damage. But okay, here comes a Sludge Bomb into Calyx. Not a bad amount of chip. A Salt Boil here. Because I was worried about Madness. Is this Trick Room? Yeah, it's Trick Room. Okay. Like, I still can really chip away at the Calyx Ice Rider at this point. I'm going to go for Seismic Toss, I think, into the Calyx Ice Rider and swap out into Blastoise. They're probably going to go Finido and Lance here, which is a little bit of an issue, because then they can heal Pulse. So they've been playing this extremely well so far, but let's see. Blastoise in. Doesn't look like they switched out Porygon though, so what are they going for? Foul play into the Chansey slot. Interesting. It just does no damage, so I'm actually really surprised. They do Glacial Lance though, which is not surprising at all. Okay. So this is going to do a lot to Chansey here. Yeah, Chansey, but we do take it. All right. And we are able to get a Seismic Toss off into the Calyx, which is pretty good damage. I think now I want a Cannonade. Yeah. But do they switch back into Fini is my question mark, because if they do go back into Fini, it's a little bit strange. But I think I kind of have to get a Cannonade off. I think my play is to Ally Switch here and probably go for that Cannonade. Yeah, I really think it's ally switching, go for the cannon. The only reason I'm ally switching is to cover for the eerie impulse, but as well as to cover for the high horsepower if they target the blast. Actually, I didn't have to cover for the high horsepower. I just have to cover for... They stayed in though, which is really good though. Since they stayed in, I should be able to get the knockout with cannonade, and that's actually really important right here. I forgot, the Incineroar is slow on this team, right? I could probably find a way to soft boil though. It's really hard for them to actually knock out the Chansey, so... Calyx protects. Oh, that's really good for me. That's really good for me. Okay. So we're able to get an ally switch off with the Chansey. Pretty good. Pretty good. And then this is a eerie impulse into the Chansey slot. Nice. Nice. Okay. So they didn't want to, I guess, just lose in this position. So yeah, because if I cannade in Seismic Toss, they're actually in a really awkward spot. So I do get the cannade off into the Calyx Ice Rider. So now this Calyx Ice Rider is super low. It's going to go down the next turn. I could definitely go for the Salt Boil here and recover the HP. And then the problem is how much damage am I doing to the Feeny? Because it's not really that much. Mist disappears from... Wait, that's Misty Terrain, right? That's not actual Mist. Actual Mist is going to wear off this turn. Okay. So I can go for a cannade here into the Porygon slot, and I can go for a soft boil here, or I could seismic toss immediately. I guess I don't have to soft boil realistically. I think I'm just going to go for the attacks into the Porygon and really weaken it. They're going to stay in, which is interesting. They go for recover. Huh, okay. So they go for recover, which is fine. And Lance, okay. No crit on the Chansey's beautiful. All right, beautiful. The Calyx Ice. Okay, so they're not going for the heal pulse end game, which is really nice. So I do get a seismic toss off in the Porygon. I do get a cannade, and I get more damage on the Porygon. So maybe I can actually beat the Porygon after all. The Blastoise is actually looking really tough for them to actually beat at this point. The cannade's doing so much of the Porygon alongside this chip, and I got rid of their Calyx Ice Rider. Excellent, excellent. Oh, this is exactly what you would want if you're me. So Calyx Ice Rider does go down to the cannade, and yeah, I really was thinking that they would just try to position Tapu Fini once again, go for the heal pulse, but now this is a really good spot because I'm pretty sure I just go out into Instant and I click Cannade upcoming. So Incineroar is going to come in, probably click Fake Out here. I just need to find a position. I actually know. Do I go Instant? I go Eternatus, right? Yeah, I always go Eternatus here. It's the last turn of Trick Room, right? Yeah, it is. So I'm pretty sure Chansey is actually faster than Incineroar too. So I'm actually going to go for a Cannade into the Porygon slot, and I'm going to hard swap into Eternatus. The reason is this covers for the Fake Out, but also like putting the Porygon into range of potential Sludge Bomb or Sludge Wave. These Pokemon actually might all be in Sludge Wave range. Oh, that would actually be crazy because Eternatus could clean up this endgame pretty simply. Let's see. I don't know if they would read this. They could parting shot out my Blastoise and go out into Feeny, and that's what I'm also trying to cover for. So I think this Eternatus play is always just like a safe one because it gives me more offensive momentum once Trick Room's over. They go for a Throat Chop, which is not going to KO. I don't think Foul Play KOs with a double up. They go for recover again. Okay. That works. Yeah, that actually really works because I still get the Cannade damage to the Porygon too, and then I have Sludge Bomb pressure. Yeah, I think this is pretty much a win at this point. Unless maybe I miss a Cannade afterward, but even then, like, I'm pretty sure with the recoil, yeah, this is just, they're not in a good position. Sludge Bomb is just looking really good in this endgame. And I go for a Hydro Cannon and Sludge Bomb double up into the Porygon because I should always be able to eliminate the Porygon this way. And it's not like this Incineroar is threatening my Eternatus anytime soon. So yeah, we're going to go for a Sludge Bomb into the Porygon as well as a Hydro Cannon. We should outspeed, I think, the Incineroar at this point. Because this Incineroar, I remember, is slow. I'm pretty sure there's also another way for Trick Room. And they're going to actually switch out into Tapu Fini. I think they were trying to go hope that I went for Dynamax Cannon here, which is perfect for me. So this should always seal the game for me here. Because it can't beat the Chansey, I'm pretty sure. I can just stall out the Porygon. The Porygon doesn't even have enough power points to stall me out either. A Sludge Bomb going to come out of Tapu Fini. His Choice Spec should KO the Tapu Fini. Excellent, excellent. And then the Hydro Cannon going to finish off the Incineroar right here. And yeah, now this is a 100% game. I don't see how the Porygon is winning this. So Incineroar does go down. And yeah, power of Charm Chansey, even with the Mist. But they didn't set up the Mist because they brought out the Tapu Fini pretty late. And because they set up the Mist pretty late, I was just able to stall out their Dynamax. They weren't able to get much momentum there. And then afterward, it could have got a little bit ugly. There were some positions that definitely were scary with how I was playing, but overall, I felt like Chansey was just enough of a disruption. Now I can go for a sludge bomb into the Porygon, and even if they recover stall, like they have to recover stall basically at this point if they survive this, and they do survive it. They get Trick 'em Up. But the thing is, my Blastoise also has a fun tech in Aqua Jet, so we don't have to play that stall war. We're gonna go for Aqua Jet here. We're gonna go for Sludge Bomb. And even then, they would have to dodge a lot here, and I don't think they have enough power points for the recover here. So Porygon is going to go down to the Aqua Jet Blastoise, and a good game. Yeah, Charm Chansey. I kind of wish the Chansey was actually slower, because if I had a slower Chansey, I'd be able to charm the Calyx Ice Rider under Trick Room, and I feel like that position happens a lot, but it's still it was still really solid there that I was just able to stall out the Dynamax. They had a really tough time at KOing the Chansey. They never ended up KOing the Chansey. It could have got a little bit dangerous, but again, I feel like, again, an early Dynamax, which seemed to like they would be in a pretty good position, right? Especially they took the knockout instant, but then I was able to slow them down. They weren't able to pick up a knockout to get the boost, and that Calyx Ice Rider was just sitting there, just doing very little amounts of damage, while Chansey was able to like wait out the Dynamax, and then I had to figure out like when can I get offensive pressure with Blastoise for the Cannonade, and I was able to get a really good moment. Thankfully, no heel post position for them with the Tapu Fini, but overall, really strong spot for Chansey. No minimize necessary. Kyogre, Indeedee, Zacian, Shedinja, Kingdra, and the Landorus variant. Pretty classic team. This is the, I think, team that Yuki Rotom and a few other Japanese players used for one of the international challenges. I think one of the early ones here. This match was pretty interesting. We do have Cannonade on the Blastoise, which gives them a lot of trouble. Actually, a Solvus Blastoise actually really gives them a lot of trouble. They don't exactly have the best answers to this. I don't really like Yveltal too much. I really do like the Blastoise though. Blastoise, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Eternatus is looking really solid here. They have to respect the Chansey. They probably can't even bring Shed, because ironically Shed is going to get destroyed by the Chansey. So I think we're not seeing the Shedinja, which probably means that they're bringing probably the Zacian. I'd say Zacian, would they bring Kingdra? Probably. Not 100% though. I'm gonna bring Blastoise lead here, because I think Blastoise is just so good against my opponent's team immediately, with Incineroar for Intimidate, and then in the back I kind of like Eternatus, and I like the Rillaboom right here. I could also lead the Rillaboom, but I am a little bit concerned if the Zacian and also physical Kingdra leads here, so I'd rather just lead the Blastoise combined with the Incineroar, and we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I could have just led something else, but we'll find out, as this is going to be pretty important. The Kyogre could be a little bit terrifying. That is one thing. I don't think they lead Kyogre plus the Kingdra though against my team, but we'll see. Gonna be Indeedee Landorus. That makes sense. Okay. So Indeedee Landorus, I lead my Incineroar right away, which means I activate a White Herb. If this one's White Herb, right? I'm pretty sure this one's White Herb. If they try to Swords Dance, I do have Blizzard. I could go for the Blizzard right away, and I don't see why I wouldn't attempt to go for the Blizzard here. You know what? We are going to go for the Blizzard attempt right here. And my Incineroar does have the... I guess I could fake out Blizzard. I don't know how much I want to go for that. I don't think they're going to... I mean... I think they Swords Dance here. Yeah, it is White Herb, because I get two chances to hit the Blizzard potentially, and that would be really, really good here. I think they Swords Dance follow me, but maybe I'm wrong here. I guess I could actually, I'll Blizzard and I'll switch to Rillaboom here, I guess. That's not a bad mid ground, I suppose. Yeah, I might as well. I get rid of the Psychic Terrain. I think they Swords Dance follow me here, because like fake outs, I don't think faking out with Incin is in your mind, but you might Dynamax considering it. We'll find out though. We'll just see. It's gonna be follow me, come out. Okay, yeah, they attacked you. I could have faked out Blizzard, dang it, but if I just hit the Blizzard, I'm okay here. We do see the Swords Dance, which is not too surprising. Okay, a really big question: do we hit the Blizzard? Okay, that's the one I wanted to hit. We're good. Blizzard does connect with the Landorus, just nukes the Landorus. Critical hit. I don't think that matters really. The Landorus doesn't really run bulk on this team, so I do get a huge Blizzard off into the Landorus, and that's a lot of momentum they just lost right there. Like just hitting the Blizzard sometimes Can't be the effective strategy. I guess Fake Out was probably the better play, but hey, it works out for me. Zacian gonna come in. And yeah, I really don't mind the spot where I think I definitely want to go hard into Incineroar and get a Cannonade off and get as much damage as I possibly can stacking up against these Pokemon. It probably, I'd imagine, the last is going to be the Kyogre, so I definitely want to save the Rillaboom in for the end game. I want the Cannonade to start stacking up against these Pokemon, especially if it's like Shedinja in the back. If I can get an early knockout, it's more ideal here. But a Fake Out with my Incineroar as well as this Intimidate to help out my Blasters to take the attacks even better seems like such a solid spot. Let's find out what they decide to go for here, because I imagine your last one's Kyogre at this point. They didn't bring the Kingdra, so it should be the Kyogre. And I'm feeling really good about this, especially if it's a Scarf Kyogre. Their Dynamax options are super weak against my team. Well, Dynamax are Blastoise though, and start racking up this Cannonade. Let's see what they do. I don't think there's Swords Dance on this team. I'm pretty sure they have to have Play Rough, but maybe they changed the team to have Swords Dance. Swords Dance could be scary on the Zacian, but I could just like Intimidate, rotate. We're gonna see Protect from the Zacian. Is this a double Protect? Yeah, double Protect. Okay, I guess they were... I guess since that was the first time I switched into Rillaboom, I could have faked out and went for the other attack, which is true. But I really want to get the Intimidate off as quick as possible. So I get the Cannonade off into the Indeedee. So we're start stacking up on the Indeedee right here. And I guess this turn I could go for the Cannonade into the Zacian. I have a lot of plays I could go for here. Like I could go for a Flare Blitz plus Cannonade here, and I don't mind going for the Flare Blitz plus Cannonade into the Indeedee slot. Seems like a lot of damage I would accomplish here. The Zacian could also be switching out into the Kyogre. But yeah, I'm gonna Cannonade. I mean, I don't know if I Flare Blitz. I think Parting Shot is probably better into the Zacian slot if it switches out. Yeah, I might as well. Cannonade's still gonna do a decent chunk to the Indeedee. Probably put in the Grassy Glide range, and then afterward, like I'm in such a good spot regardless. As long as there's no like Helping Hand crit here into one of my Pokemon, I should be in a very, very good spot with this Blastoise here. And then Eternatus is actually pretty good, especially against whatever Dynamax Pokemon they could possibly have in the end game. Helping Hand is going to come out from the Indeedee. They go for the Play Rough, but with that Intimidate, still does a lot, but not enough. A Cannonade going to be fired off here. We are going to target down the Indeedee right here and try to get as much damage as we possibly can. Yep, pretty good amount of damage. And Parting Shot into the Zacian. If I can trap in the Zacian, that's really good here. I mean, if it's Shed in the back, I just win, right? Because I have so many answers to Shed at this point in the game. I go out into Rillaboom here, I'm pretty sure. And maybe force a double Protect once again. And I go for like a Max Cannonade or a Max Strike for Chip. Yeah, like I just feel like we're in such a solid spot right here. Although the Grassy Terrain healing them's a little bit annoying, but overall, I think we're in a really dominant spot. I think we go for a Hailstorm here this time, or do we go for the Cannonade once again? Because losing my Sash on the Rillaboom isn't ideal, but then again, it's not like it really matters too much because I imagine Kyogre is the last Pokemon and then they reset the rain. So 2 turns of Cannonade left. Yep. Let's cancel out their thing. Let's go for the Hailstorm into the Indeedee. Let's swap back into the... I kind of want to Grassy Glide the Zacian, actually. You know what? I'm gonna Grassy Glide the Zacian. I'm gonna Hailstorm the Indeedee. No, I'm not gonna Hailstorm the Indeedee. I think I Cannonade the Indeedee. Yeah, I'm gonna Cannonade the Indeedee. Grassy Glide here. Because I feel like they might try to switch out the Zacian because they're like -2 attack at this point. If they double Protect here, then sure. That's fine too. Now you still risk the Grassy Glide in the upcoming endgame. So we're gonna see Protects, which is all good. Because at this point, I don't see how they're really breaking through the rest of this. Let's see. Especially with the Sash Rillaboom, we could avoid a Helping Hand crit scenario into the Rillaboom at least, which is really solid. A Cannonade going to be fired off to Indeedee, a little bit more extra damage. But yeah, we just can't let Kyogre next to Zacian really come in freely, which is why I'm going for all this preparation to make sure that they don't get a good position where they could switch out to Zacian, having like a +1 Zacian next to their thing. Yeah. The Indeedee is still pretty healthy, but this is still okay here. I mean, I don't think they're switching out at this point, but I mean, I should still cover for it. Aquajet does not KO the Indeedee, I'm pretty sure, especially at -1 attack. So let's go for the Cannonade. Let's go for the double up into the Zacian, I suppose. Well, if they're switching out into Kyogre, they're definitely follow me with the Indy anyway. I'm gonna actually Grassy Glide and just Hydro Cannon here. Okay, yeah, they helping hand here. That's fine. Because I still get a huge Cannade off into the Zacian. I still have Eternatus, which is still really good in the remaining parts of this endgame. So I think I'm fine here. They go for the Play Rough here and a Blastoise. Does that pick up a knockout? No, it does not. And that actually puts me in Torrent range. So here comes a Hydro Cannon into the Zacian slot, which is a knockout right there. And oh boy, Kyogre should be the last spawn. And we should have this game sealed at this point. They might... I mean, you have to Dynamax the Kyogre at this point, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe you do go for the Water Spout, but if you go for the Water Spout and I just survive, which most Riolabooms do, it's really bad. Oh, it is Shed in the late game, but they didn't Dynamax. I guess they were just planning to Dynamax the Landers, but yeah, we have plenty, and I mean plenty of tools. I guess, yeah, like I wanted to get rid of the Shed, but then again, all my answers were just healthy because they didn't run the Kyogre. So, and I was able to get rid of the Landis with the Blizzard. So, yeah, we're just in a fantastic spot now. Incineroar comes in. Just gets to go for moves, whatever. We're going to see Dynamax Shedinja on the series. I think this is the first time I've seen Dynamax Shedinja. But, or at least on this channel right here. So, Shedinja going to Dynamax right here. And, I don't know. I guess he could do stuff, but it's looking really unlikely for you to actually pull out a win right here, I'm pretty sure. Unless you have Flutterby, KO to Incin. They go for Phantasm into what was the Rillaboom earlier. Incin switches in very comfortably here. They're probably going to ignore the Blastoise probably for the remainder of the game. I'm going to go Eternatus and I'm going to go Rillaboom afterward. So this should be fine. Yeah, I just switch out into Eternatus for the slot. I go into Rillaboom for the slot. I don't think they could ever beat the Incin anyway, but just to be safe, I'm just going to go Eternatus and I'm going to go Rillaboom here. Get the Grassy Terrain healing for my Incin. Get multiple Intimidates off. And yeah, like Dynamax Shed versus the world, but it's not going to accomplish anything, unfortunately, for my opponent right here. So here comes the Rillaboom. And the Eternatus right here. Let's see. Can you do something? Do you have the capabilities of doing something right here? We'll find out. It's gonna be Phantasm again, probably going for the crit into... They probably go for a crit here into the instant hoping, but yeah, my Rillaboom absolutely eats that up. And now Flamethrower here into the Shed and I guess Incin? Yeah, I could risk Incin here, I'm pretty sure. Because if they don't target the if they target down the... I might as well just get an Intimidate off because they're probably targeting down the Eternatus as well. But yeah, I just have so many options right here. It's looking really, really unlikely. Unless, again, that Shed has to have a bug move and crit my Incin now. And even if they do that, I don't think they can beat the Eternatus. Flamethrower does proc the Sash here. So, yep, that's really good. There's no more... Well, Indoor is not going to be like as big a factor here. Phantasm into the... Eternatus. Okay, I survived. So Shed does get a spread move. Flamethrower, Throw Chop. Good game. And turn one, it really came down to it. Like the Blizzard hit was huge, but I felt like they would Source Edge at that position because, like, if otherwise, they probably thought I was gonna Dynamax the Blastoise maybe to get the Cannade off. They didn't exactly have the best damage output, so I thought, you know what, I might as well just click Blizzard here because if they do try to set up, I heavily punish them. If I do land, 70% chance to. And you know what? That's exactly what they did here. And I just win the game by clicking Flamethrower plus Flare Blitz. Once I got rid of that Landers, they had really, really weak offensive options because the Zacian was intimidated. The Blastoise was tanking the attacks really well. And yeah, I had like plenty of resources to deal with whatever they had in the back, whether it was Rillaboom, whether it was Shed. I mean, not Rillaboom, whether it was Kyogre, whether it was Shed, whether it was Kingdra. I just had so many options at that point. And yeah, it looks like it is the... I'm pretty sure this is the exact same team. Yep, they didn't have anything for the Incin, a Life Orb. It is the physical Kingdra. Did it have Protect? I don't remember if it had a Protect. Wide Herb on the Landorus, pretty standard. And yeah, it had no bulk. So I'm pretty sure Blizzard just OHKO because it's a 4 times effective attack, even with spread. Even though Blastoise does have the best special attack, it's still a really strong hit right there. And yeah, just I think turn 1 really worked out for us. And I was still able to have a bunch of resources for when they had none, basically. And that is the show. We've seen Chansey do well before, even without Minimize. For instance, the 2017 North America International Championship, we saw a Chansey with, like, I believe it was like Heel Pulse. It was a really cool team. But yeah, no Minimize Chansey, but it's actually pretty cool to wall certain Pokemon because, of course, it has a really high special defense stat. Doesn't need any of the Minimize, any of the guard split stuff. Just really solid, and I really like the idea of Charm for the Calyx Ice Riders that, of course, this restricted duo, of course, really weak to. If you did enjoy today's video, though, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, really does help me out. And want to check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, and you can grab the rental code on your screen right here. But why not check out the rest of my Series 12 content where there's a lot of cool teams and a lot of fun Pokemon. For instance, you can check out the rest of the Japan Nationals teams that I am featuring on this channel. Make sure you check out those videos, but otherwise, that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people, and until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.